Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. First, wanted to introduce ourselves. My name is Matt Peterson. I'm a relationship director with Maple LMS, and I work very closely with our clients at Maple LMS to partner with them on their training, education, and professional development programs, and to really help them achieve their objectives around their education. Joining me today is my colleague, Avon. Avon, how are you today? And would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Hi, this is Avin. I'm a key account manager with Maple LMS. I'm also the customer training manager. So I mainly take care of onboarding of our clients and also training them on our platform and pretty much everything around that.
Great. Nice to have you with us. Just a couple of housekeeping items. We encourage you to ask questions through the Q&A at the bottom of the screen, and we'll answer any of them either throughout the presentation, in the Q&A, or at the end of the presentation. Also want to remind you, Maple LMS is a certified CAE provider, and today's live call is eligible to receive 1 CAE credit, which you can claim on the American Society of Association Executives website. Today, we're going to be talking about how to improve learning engagement with gamification. So learning engagement refers to the level of interest, involvement, and active participation exhibited by learners during the learning process. And it really encompasses the emotional, cognitive, and behavioral aspects of how learners interact with the learning content, activities, and overall learning environment. Engaged learners are enthusiastic, motivated, and invested in their learning journey. And who would not want that? Engagement can result in better knowledge acquisition, skill development, and retention. Engaged learners are more actively to seek out new information, ask questions, explore different perspectives, and apply what they've learned in practical contexts. And an LMS can be a valuable tool to increase learning engagement through the use of gamification. Right now, we're going to release a short poll, and we encourage you to participate in that poll. Okay, we're going to move along. So gamification creates an emotional connection between the content and the learners. Emotions can be a powerful tool for learning. It facilitates encoding and retrieval of information more effectively, making the learning process much more efficient. Gamification strongly influences the individual's attention, which makes them more receptive to learning. So really, what is gamification? Gamification learning experiences in a learning management system can make the process more engaging, motivating, and effective. And these are some ways to gamify the learning experience within an LMS. First off is points and badges. If you implement a point system where learners can earn points for completing modules, assessments, or achieving specific milestones. Award badges or virtual rewards based on the points accumulated, and this creates a sense of achievement and progression. Levels and progression divide the learning content into levels or stages, with each level representing a specific learning objective or topic. So learners would unlock higher levels as they complete lower ones, and this provides a sense of achievement and encourages learners to progress throughout the content. Next up is leaderboards. You can introduce leaderboards that display the rankings of learners based on their performance or progress. This fosters healthy competition and encourages learners to strive for better results. And leaderboards can be displayed within the LMS, or it can be displayed in just a specific course. Finally, certificates can be given as rewards and recognition for completing a course or a learning path. By incorporating these gamification elements into the design of learning experiences within an LMS, you can enhance learner engagement, motivation, and retention. Remember to align gamification strategies with your learning objectives and ensure they contribute to meaningful learning outcomes. Next, we're going to talk about how does gamification accelerate learning. First and foremost, it's increasing the motivation. Working and learning can naturally be accompanied by elements of anxiety and fear, and that's why aiming to make things fun is crucial if you want your employees or learners to perform well. The process isn't just about making things more fun, but it's also to boost productivity. Studies have revealed that making work and studying more fun can boost productivity and skill building by a staggering 40%. Increased readiness to take part and engage is supported by dopamine, a chemical released in the brain when we experience pleasure. It also boosts motivation and the desire to keep doing things that give us that pleasure. That lies at the heart of how gamification works. Enhanced learning and skill development. So if done properly, exciting gaming elements applied to relevant situations, employees and learners can experience a rise in motivation and engagement with the content. And with the help of gamification, people can find the motivation to fully engage with their work or studies while building skills and improving their memory retention abilities. Finally, rising excitement. Gamification helps employees break the chain of the mundane. According to recent surveys, apart from increasing productivity, it also keeps workers engaged and does wonders when it comes to retaining talented people for longer periods. The findings have revealed that nearly 50% of employees believe that gamification boosts engagement, while 72% have said it inspires them to be more productive. Next, I want to move along to what are some advantages of gamification in the workplace. So we talked a lot about motivation and how that's at the cornerstone. Gamification increases motivation when workers are given rewards and receive validation for their efforts. By incorporating game-like elements such as points, levels, and rewards, gamification boosts employees' motivation and their productivity. It provides a sense of achievement and progress, making tasks more meaningful and rewarding. Employees are inspired to take initiative, set goals, and strive for continuous improvement. We also talked about enhanced learning and skill development. Gamification in learning is so effective due to the visual aspects it brings to the education, as well as the ability to view resources in different ways, interact with other players, and be rewarded frequently for their accomplishments. Gamified training programs and learning initiatives help employees acquire and retain knowledge more effectively. Game-based elements such as challenges, situations, and rewards create an immersive learning experience that enhances skill development and knowledge retention. Increased productivity and performance. As a business, gamification is a great way to enhance your learning offerings, and it also plays a part in improving customer satisfaction, employee performance, and productivity. With quality training across teams, your business can run smoothly. Next up is fostering collaboration and teamwork. Gamification can foster collaboration and teamwork amongst employees. Team-based challenges, leaderboards, and cooperative games encourage employees to work together, share their knowledge, and support each other. It strengthens relationships, it improves communication, and enhances overall team dynamics. With gamification, training becomes a vehicle for social interaction and team bonding. It incorporates a bit of healthy competition into the training program and keeps learners eager to make progress. When employees are grouped by their department and the progress is measured as a unit, they are motivated to demonstrate the aptitude of their team and work together to come out on top. Behavioral change and reinforcement. Gamification can encourage employees to adopt desired behaviors and habits. By setting clear objectives, providing feedback, and offer rewards, it incentivizes learners to align their actions with organizational goals and values, and it reinforces positive behaviors and helps shape a more productive and positive work culture. Next up is data collection and feedback. So scorecards can serve as progress summaries as they display the details of the performance of the individual learners. And scorecards may include several stats reflecting the earned rewards of learners, including the points, badges, leaderboard standings, and their leveling progress. Gamification platforms collect data on employee performance, progress, and participation. So this data provides valuable insights into employee behavior, strengths, and areas for improvement. Managers can then use this data to provide targeted feedback, identifying training needs, and making informed decisions based on performance analytics. Finally, this is the fun and positive work environment. Gamification just essentially makes learning fun. It increases an element of fun and excitement into the workplace. It breaks the monotony of routine tasks and creates a positive work environment. Employees enjoy the interactive and engaging nature of gamified activities, leading to higher job satisfaction and overall well-being. Overall, gamification in the workplace offers advantages that can drive employee engagement, motivation, productivity, and learning. It promotes positive behaviors, fosters collaboration, and contributes to a more enjoyable and fulfilling work experience for employees. Next up, we want to talk a little bit about how gamification improves learning engagement. So points acts as positive feedback or a reward that motivates players to take on bigger challenges in the games. They also serve as a bridge between players and games, thereby indicating the extent to which players are motivated to achieve the main objectives of a specific game. Levels, opting to use levels and checkpoints can help learners feel like they're progressing through the game. This makes them want to find out what happens next, and which keeps their attention focused on the learning. Badges are a fantastic way to acknowledge and reward people for their efforts. A badge is a award given in the form of a virtual object or a pinned image on your profile. And it's a fantastic way to show that you value the hard work and effort put into the task. Leaderboards are great for creating competition among learners, as they'll want to see their name on top and work harder as a result. You can even create separate leaderboards based on different teams, dividing individuals into smaller groups for better competition. Certifications make it easy for employees to show off their expertise and competencies. This kind of recognition is generally linked to training that will boost people's careers. So it's common in role-specific training like human resources or project management. If you think of SHRM or PMP designation, or maybe technical skill development around a specific software. Avon, I'd like to turn to you, and if you'd like to talk a little bit about how you can gamify the learning experience.
Yes, absolutely, Matt. And thank you so much. I feel you covered this topic extensively in the last few minutes. So let's talk about gamifying learning experiences. Now, the key to successful gamification is to strike a balance between game elements and learning content. Certainly, we have leaderboards, badges, and many more things. But by incorporating elements of fun, competition, progression, and social interaction, you can create an immersive and effective learning experience that captivates learners and essentially enhances their educational journey. Now, we talked about points, badges, leaderboards, and all those elements. So let's just take a look at that. Now, say you're working with points, okay? And you have a training material, maybe a video, maybe some learning activity. Um, Then you have the ability to assign some points to each interactions within that training material. So say if I'm watching a video, do I get a point for that? Or maybe let's say if I watch certain videos in a module or maybe complete a learning activity, I can be rewarded with a point for each interaction that comes across. And we'll actually look at some examples of these as we move on. And similar to giving points on each interactions, you also could possibly allocate points for qualifying assessments. So some learning activities, some courses, they include assessments and some more learning activities. So upon successful completion of these activities, you can award a point. um, Sometimes you may also want to think about designing your courses into levels and also um, different stages. So that could be one way. And definitely adding follow-up learning activities such as quizzes and maybe surveys. And then your learning activities within a course could be time-bound as well. That could also be a way. So say you have a quiz, so your quiz could be a time-bound learning activity. And then badges, definitely badges could be a way to gamify learning experience. So say if you complete a course, or maybe if you complete certain learning activities within a course, you could be awarded with a badge, or maybe a badge of completion or badge of completing some of the modules. And there are several variations around that. Lastly, not lastly, but definitely you want to visualize the learning progress of other participants. So it's also important to show the learning progress of your learners, of your participants to them, so they can visualize, they can see what their progress is, what points they got, what the ranking is, and the level they're at. So some elements around that could be really helpful. And lastly, certifications. I mean, certifications are so popular these days. I mean, you may have come across quite a few LinkedIn profiles. When you go over LinkedIn, you see people sharing certificates, certifications. Anytime they earn a certificate or maybe complete a course, then they get a certificate, and you get to share that on LinkedIn, on other spaces. So that's definitely one of the most popular ways to gamify your learning experiences. And on that note, I just wanted to bring up a case study and talk about one of our clients, which is Big Picture. Now, this is a client based out of UK, but they have captured massive success in increasing their learning engagement with the gamification tools. They have courses divided into several categories or levels. So they have a foundation level training, foundation level courses. Then once you do that, you upgrade to an associate level, and finally you come to the expert level. So they have created this kind of learning experience for their users, for their learners. And they also utilize badging extensively. So they're using built-in badging tools, as well as I believe one of the external badging tool, as well as certifications within the courses and trainings that they're offering through the LMS. So when a participant completes a course, they're automatically awarded with a badge, which could be shared on social media. And then let's say once you complete the entire module or all the modules within your training, you're awarded with a certificate of completion. So extensively using gamification tools, and they have seen massive success with their learner engagement. So I just wanted to bring that up before I dive into some examples and actually show some gamification elements live in action. So let's jump to that, and I'll quickly dive into the platform, and we'll actually look at some of the gamification elements that we discussed today live in action. So let me just go to this platform. So here I'm logged into Maple LMS, and this would be a learner's interface. Now, let's say as a learner, if I go into a course, say if we start this course, and I'll actually walk you through a few things over here. Definitely gamification elements such as rankings, leaderboards, and then also some learning activities around quizzes, certificates. All of that could be incorporated. But then let me just start by doing a short example or a short demo of learning experience. So let's say as a learner, when I come to this course and start my learning journey, and just for reference, I do have some videos over here, which we'll quickly go through. Now, one way to gamify is also around your content. Now, this may seem like a video, but then this is actually an interactive video, which includes certain interactions. And each interaction then provides me with a point with an achievement. Okay, so anytime an interaction appears on top of my video screen, I can take that short knowledge check. And to be honest, I'm not really sure about the right or wrong answer, so I'm just going to go with random choices. And there we go. So now this seems like a wrong answer, but once you, let's say, take a right answer or pick the right answer choice, you get a point for that right answer. Okay, so that's one way to gamify a learning experience, and that too with your content. And these days we work a lot with video content, and this would definitely be one of my preferences to add these interactive elements, to associate points with those elements. And then there could be a variety of interactions that can be included on top of your content. Or let's say if you do not work with videos, if you wish to create a presentation kind of learning format, that can also include some interactions. So essentially, what I'm trying to show is a way to gamify learning experience mainly with your content itself. Okay. Just one more example over here with a simple true false question type. Let's say if I take a answer choice and hopefully it's the right answer, I get a 1 point right over here. And I'm just going to quickly go through some of these interactions and show you a report by the end of it. So I'm going to drag and drop some random choices over here. And by the end of it, what would happen as a learner, I'll be able to see my responses as well. And I can actually skip some of those too. So say if we complete it, I got a point, we hit continue. And by the end of this video, I can then see my score. So these are some of the points that I've got for the questions that I've answered. And now when I submit my answers, it gets recorded under my progress. And a training instructor, maybe a manager, can then review these responses. Additionally, I have options to view my attempts as well. But then quickly going through this course, and I'll show some examples around badges and leaderboards as well. And I think we didn't point that out, but if we go back to this course for a bit, what you would see now is that my ranking has gone up. Just because I engaged into a learning activity, there we go. We have a ranking upgrade, and now I've achieved more points. I've achieved a new ranking, and also specifications can be seen right over here. So I get 9 points for viewing content, 3 points for course activity completions, and then also 9 more points to view a course module. Now, let's say if I wanted to look at the leaderboard, can go to this ladder, and now that shows me a list of participants who are enrolled in this course, what their total points are, and the progress. Also, it shows me the points that I need for an upgrade or to go to the next level or the next rank, along with the rank of each participant, the level of each participant. And just to mention, this is all customizable. Okay, so you can have your own conditions for delivering points and also rankings. So just going back to this course real quick, and I'm going to quickly jump through one example of quiz, which could be time bound. Now that's quite an essential activity within a course, and mainly quizzes are to do knowledge checks. So let's say if we go to this quiz and start an attempt, there we go. Right, so once I land into the quiz, my timer gets started. Now, in this case, I have about an hour to complete this quiz. Now, it could be minutes, it could be sometimes be hours, could be minutes, totally depending on your preference. But essentially, if you time your quizzes, the learner would be then required to complete a quiz within that time, or else their responses won't be counted. So we'll just quickly go through it, submit our quiz, finish the attempt, and then that would take me to a page where I can then see the end results, or maybe a score or a feedback based on the points that I've got. So I have the grades right over here, the points that I've got, and also some automatic feedback for right and wrong answers. Okay, so some elements around that. There's also a badge which is incorporated in this course, and that would actually unlock if I complete this course completely. So if I complete all the learning modules, I can be rewarded with a badge immediately. And just to show you that, in fact, we'll complete the course and then look at the badge as it comes along. So we just completed the quiz. Let's just take this survey and then we can unlock the certificate of completion. And by that, I mean, if we go back to this course for a bit, what you would see is that the certificate is not available unless the feedback survey activity has been completed. So that could also be one way where you set conditions for achievements. So if you have to achieve a certificate, you have to complete an activity, or maybe complete all the activities, learning activities within your course, including the content as well. Okay, so I'm just going to fill out this survey real quick. And just completing this questionnaire. Now that should complete my engagement in this course. And when I go back to this course, I can then navigate to certificate and actually unlock my certificate of completion. And I've just reached a new level as well. So that's how it works. You complete more activities, you engage more into a course, into a training program, and you get more points, you get to a new reward, you get to a new achievement with that gamification elements. So now, as you can see, I can unlock the certificate, I can print the certificate right from here, and that would show up immediately. There we go. We've completed a certificate, we completed a course, we got the certificate of completion and a badge along with that. And now if I go back to this course, I believe this course has been completed. Yeah. So now one more item with that was about the badges. So if we go to achievements, I can then see a badge that I've achieved, and also the certificate which I just got. So if we go to view more, it then allows me to view and download the certificate again, or I can share that certificate on my LinkedIn profile straight away. Okay, so these are some elements around gamification and how it works in an LMS system. And in this case, we are particularly looking at Maple LMS. There could be definitely more elements, more gamification elements incorporated into your learning, but these would be some of the most essential gamification items that you can utilize in your trainings. Definitely Leaderboard would be one of that, and interactive content, gamified content would be one of that, and certificates is a must-have. So with that, I'll just end this demo and get back to the slide. I'm going to hand it over to you, Matt.
Yeah, I'm curious if we have any results on the poll and if people participated and if we can share.
We do, and the results are quite fascinating. So let me just go ahead and share the result. But just to let you know about, we asked a question, if have you ever incorporated gamification elements in your learning activities? And surprisingly, 40% of our participants have not. About 30% have, and about 30% are not sure about it. So let's just go ahead and share the results. And it should be on my screen now. Also, just checking in to see if there are any questions from our participants today. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to put that in the chat or in the Q&A.
Avon, I see one. You showed how to incorporate gamification into a particular course, but could gamification be throughout the system? And could you have a leaderboard based on all activities and all courses?
Yeah, there could be a leaderboard throughout the system. So it could be system-wide, it could be for a specific course. Definitely, yes.
Okay, great.
And also, on that note, sometimes, and this is something which I've seen with some of our clients. Now, we saw an example where badge can be issued if you, say, complete one course. But sometimes, and some of our clients, what they would do is they would offer a badge if you complete a series of courses. So let's say if you're completing a learning path, right? And a learning path would basically have multiple courses grouped together. So you complete a learning path, you get awarded with a badge, or maybe a certificate of completion. So that's possible as well.
Great. I'm not seeing any other questions right now, but we really encourage you if you do have any questions around gamification. I think we've shown you great ways to incorporate gamification into learning progress, and hopefully we've inspired you to do that. If you don't have a platform that would support gamification, we'd love to talk to you further. We really appreciate your attending today and your interest in the topic of how to improve learning engagement with gamification. I hope the information was helpful and gave you some ideas of how to do that and how to do it in an LMS and the learning process. So that's going to conclude our webinar for today. We appreciate you attending. The webinar will be posted on our website, www.maplelms.com, for future on-demand viewing within a couple of days. And below, you'll see contact information if you want to continue our conversation around incorporating gamification into learning. We would love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend, and your holiday.